Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. It's my pleasure to read for you. And as you know, you don't have to have any specific or significant Sagittarian placements in your natal chart in order for these messages to be for you. And you don't have to be watching at the time that I'm publishing this video for these messages to be for you. If you feel kind of moved by something in it, then I would invite you to take it back home, contemplate, and use your own discernment through the heart space and, hang on to it. And if it does not resonate with you, I would invite you to back pocket it, take a few hours, take a day or two, and then come back and see how the energies have unfolded for you. That being said, always use your own discernment. God bless you. And if you'd like to work personally with me, you know exactly where to find me. You can find my link to Etsy on my page wherever you're accessing it. Okay? And I haven't done like a group meditation or healing session in such a long time. I love those. It just hasn't arisen, but if you'd like to do that personally with me, of course, we do offer intuitive counseling, and you can choose that to be in an hour and a half or 2-hour increments. But that being said, I do want to focus this message. I had to choose between two words there. Lesson and message kind of came out. This message on Sagittarius placements, or whoever you are. But before we begin, let me just go ahead and bring some energies into you. And if you don't feel it, that's okay. Already I'm starting to yawn because I could feel it. I want to yawn. And if you do feel it, go ahead and just enjoy it. So just give me a second. Pull them in. Lots of stubborn energy in some of your fields. So we're just going to push a little bit, send some flow. I guess etheric flow, the closest word I can say is like water, but obviously it's not in the physical. We're going to send it to you now. Oh, nice. Okay. Lots of concentrated energies around the crown, around the the crown chakra, also around the throat chakra, but really around the ears. But I feel that kind of moving aside for us, thank God. Lots of worries about money, of course, but go ahead. We're just going to vacuum all of that out. Thank you to our angels and guides for receiving these energies for us and clearing them, transmuting. And I'm getting a lot of static energy. And I don't know for whom this is in particular. It could be more than one, but a lot of static energy at the top left of the cranial structure. So we're just going to do a little bit of work on that. Has a lot to do with a sister figure energy there. And we're just going to, interestingly, not buff it out, but kind of like pull it out a little bit. So, good. It's out. Yeah, a lot of you, yeah, okay. Obviously, this isn't a full body, it's not a deep, individual clearing, right? That's for a personal thing, but definitely moving stuff out. I'm feeling in the stomach area. Somebody here has some stuff that needs to move from the stomach area. It's almost like a knot of toxicity in the stomach area, but closer to the left side of the body. Of course, our little stummies are on, closer to the left. But I'm feeling that someone here is trying to hold on to that because maybe they have this, they're under the impression that they still have to learn a lesson around something there. But I just want you to know that that's a choice for your own continued suffering, so to speak. You can learn things without being under duress. so you see how belief systems work right there. If you have the belief that you have to learn through pain, or pain is required in order to learn, then so will be your experience. And that's not necessarily the case. You can not even be involved in something and just see it happen to someone else and it not even be painful for them, and it's not painful for you, and you learn a lesson like, oh, that's interesting. Or you can go to sleep and wake up and like, oh, this is on my mind and I didn't think about that. So there are many ways to experience and many ways to understand. So if it's a better way to say, I'm going to hold on to this stuff in my stomach. I just moved to the right side, some stubborn energy there, right? You can say it would be a better use of your energy to say, I want to continue to experience this, than to say, I think I need to still learn a lesson here, right? So just so you see the ideological shift there. But either way, you're going to be experiencing these things, okay? So before we turn into the message for today, I just want to hit up the feet a little bit. Lots of galactic energies are at your feet, guys. This is interesting. I want to make a PSA. As always, we say on this channel, please learn to think for yourself. As the guides have been saying since late last year, the governments are going to start talking to you about our galactic cousins. And all of a sudden, before they were like, this isn't real, and now it is, and now we're getting bodies and all of that. Think for yourself, think for yourself, think for yourself, think for yourself. Do not trust what you see. And I'll just leave it at that, because at some point you have to think for yourself, okay? And the way to do that is to drop into your heart and start to understand that you are much more than your body. You are not the only species in all of creation, in this universe of many universes. You're not the only being. And it behooves you to instead start focusing on how you can make friends with yourself on the inside, because once you start to break down those barriers for yourself against yourself, you will start to have more room and ability to, and capacity, so to speak, to have love and understanding and grace and virtue and all of these things towards others. People are struggling to do that with other humans. And so it's very dangerous when we're introduced to a new other altogether, because then it's very easy for those in power to say, hey, there's this new enemy out there, but we've got you. You know, the same people that weren't really supporting you during your life, you know, we've got you. And if you want to give up your power again to us and with urgency, we can protect you. And now we're finding this body and that scripture and that and all this stuff. Just disconnect, because a lot of it is just so false. And so I would just say to start, as always, keeping it simple, shadow work, and on my channel and on our work, we are very big on doing shadow work, because it's literally you just looking at the places within yourself where you are denying certain realities, and thereby you hold on to those beliefs. You are creating that in your physical space. All right. So, I have to put my glasses on because, anyway, let's take a look at what's coming up for you guys. For whoever you guys are, God bless you, first of all. Secondly, I feel that it's very important for you to start to pay attention, start to get a little quiet over the next 3 weeks in particular. If you have a nice little planner, go ahead. I love to use this one personally, and I'm not sponsored. They're not paying me. They're like, who are you? And so I always write down messages that are brought to me by my higher self, by just things that pop into my mind. If I wake up and I feel like there's a message, I just write it down, and it always comes to pass, or there's always something that comes from it. And so I feel guided to tell you guys this, because over the next 3 weeks, keep your eyes peeled, because there is going to be some information brought to you from the other side. See here, we have the Akashic library here. Now, please understand that you will be moving in alignment with one of the options that you have outlined for yourself. A little bit like a choose your own adventure. But sometimes, wouldn't it be awesome to just get on your most optimal timelines? So that's when we start to bring in this idea of guidance, because you can do as you wish. There's no judgment on the other side, right? All judgment is for here. But if you, as a creator being, would like to have more of a joyful experience, it does behoove you to start being mindful of the energies that you're entertaining. Remember, energies give way to form in the physical, because we are at a 3D physical level of consciousness, and the hallmark of 3D, of the third dimension, is physicality. So when you have certain thoughts and beliefs and all of these things in the non-physical, they're going to be non-physical, and we laugh at them, ha ha ha, your silly thoughts. But you don't know that what you're experiencing in your physical is the same thing, but because it's from the perspective of a physical plane, it is also made physical. And the evidence of that physical thought and belief is what you see around you. right? And so if you are not excited, if you're not joyful, if you're not passionate, if you're not blissed out with an experience that you're having or something in your life, then hey, Mr. or Mrs. or whatever creator being, you have a choice to look in the physical and be like, I don't like how this feels. And then you go back to the non-physical. Just close your eyes and start to feel the languages of the universe is emotion for us, right? Feel what it is that you would like to experience. And just make a habit of using your I am statements, and just you have to be what it is that you would like to experience. That is the way that you connect. Ding! See that contract with the universe? See that collaboration? And then you put your foot to the ground with your 3D actions. What has to happen after that is that the timelines within your Akashic records, or the timelines that are available, vast timelines, possibilities, the ones that align with that will start to ding, 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 become more solidified, because we're calling it into being through our attention to it. 11 minutes, 11 seconds. Eventually, once you really take action, you make a firm decision, you will make solid one of those timelines. So it behooves you to really, really start to consider what kind of experience you would like to be having. And let's not forget that this card came out, and look, it wants to return a little bit to the reversed, wishes fulfilled, but it's willing to contend with a sideway action, right? For some of you, and for others it's in the reverse. So obviously at 11 minutes 44 seconds we could all do with some improvements with our life. But you know, if you think of something that you would like to change, first of all, think about how it makes you feel. It's all about feeling. Feel how it makes you feel, and then tweak that. How would you like to have it feel? As I did this, I saw this as money. This felt like money. It's almost like, wow, I'm just holding all this money right now. Now, if you struggle to believe 12 minutes 12 seconds that you are holding money, or that you can be holding money, because maybe you think you don't have the time to increase your finances, you don't think you're qualified enough, you have an adverse relationship with money because all people who have money are the devil, or you did not learn how to handle money properly in your life, you grew up in a family where people just struggled to budget, right? There are some people who are way below the poverty line and they're budgeting like a mofo, and they are making it happen with multiple kids. And then there are people who have a lot of money coming in, they struggle. And there are people who don't have a lot of money and they're also just not bringing a lot of money in, but they're also horrible at budgeting money. That's all self-worth stuff, right? So another thing to think about is, if there's a desire that you have the desire, feel the joy from it, and then stop yourself, because you're gonna feel like, oh wow, really nice to have this, but, and then boom, in comes the conscious mind programming. And so interrupt that pattern. Just get into the habit of allowing the feeling. Think about children. When you give a child a crayon and they're like, they're just drawing on the walls. They're not like, oh, I'm going to draw this and that castle, and that's not real. It's never going to happen. I hate this world. They're not thinking like that. They're just drawing, and then they're on to the next thing, and they're drawing something else. And then all of a sudden they're like, I don't want to draw anymore. I want to go play with this truck. And you're like, oh, okay, I just spent like $40 on that crayon set and that book that you didn't even use, but you used the walls, right? They're not connected to the outcome, and they're not attached to this expectation that something has to be produced from it. You are producing what you're believing. And if you don't believe me, come see me, because I will show you in your energy field, and I'll be like, it's actually located right here in your wrist, and let's talk about that, and at this age, let's undo that, then we do some counseling around it. Like, don't play, guys. Do not play out here. Always remember, just because you can't see, ding, the connection between your thoughts in the non-physical, your beliefs in the non-physical, and the things you manifest, and the things you witness happening to other people and on the news and all that, does not mean that these things are not representing a part of you. That's the missing link. Okay? So start getting into your driver's seat. I love this card. It's always about the guides. Look, it's always like, that's us learning. God bless you. All right, you know where to find me. Until then, God bless you guys. Do your best.